Hello. Um, if it is not Wednesday, July 31st, between 3-ish and 6-ish, this is no longer live. So please don't comment on it because I won't see those comments. And then you'll think I'm a dick for not getting back to you or answering you or saying something because I had no idea you were here. I'm trying to do these weekdays between 3-ish and 6-ish. So if it's outside that time period, leave a comment on another post or drop by during another stream. Thanks. Appreciate it. Otherwise, I find all these comments like way later and I'm all, what? Because they don't make sense, right? Because I'm just talking to you. I mean, I know what I'm saying right now, but tomorrow or the next day or 3 days from now, if there's like a random comment on that video, I am not watching the whole 3 hours again to figure out what the fuck I was saying that you're replying to. Sorry. Anywho, I am, I guess, gonna do some for kind of nuts. Um, First and foremost is the metal zone. I am way behind. I usually like to have the metal zone done by like Monday, Tuesday at the latest. And today, if I correctly am looking at the wall, it is Wednesday. Yikes. Okay. Super weird. I pop over to see if the YouTube live is live and it's showing me in another live that's already happened. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not talking. Oh, I guess I shouldn't, huh? There we go. Let's leave that alone. Hey, what's going on? All right, I'm gonna see if I can make this show. There. Hey, that worked. Awesome. All right. Metal zone needs to happen. What? Am I missing it? Yeah? No? Okay. Um, hey Vernon, what's going on? I had a feeling there was somebody there and I was like, is anybody here? I can't tell. I can't tell unless I see a comment. That was my sixth sense telling me somebody was there. Uh, in the meantime, I'm like, I made the horrible mistake of putting something politically adjacent on Facebook, and so now I have to slap down all the people that don't know what they're talking about. What's new, Vernon? What you doing, man? Um, like I said, I need to make Metal Zone, and I have a giveaway in like a half hour, 40 minutes. But also, gosh, there have been so many concerts announced that I got to add on. Is anybody still on Snapchat? I have a Snapchat and I never use it. And I basically never use it because when I did use it, nobody was ever on it doing anything. And now I keep getting these like Snapchat notices, but I get Snapchat notices from people who are putting the same content on their Instagram. Do we really need Snapchat anymore? Is that a thing? Are we enjoying snapping of chats? Do people really need their messages to disappear after they see them? Even though we know they're not really disappearing. I mean, they're disappearing in that sense that they're not living on forever inside a DM. But motherfuckers always have ways of capturing those messages. I watched some crazy lady who was like, "Wanna capture Snapchats, but don't want him to know because you know, it alerts you if you screen cap. Snapchat will send the sender a little thing like, "Hey, they screen capped your shit." She had this whole workaround for that, and it was like a video it was like screen recording, right? Because I guess most iPhones have this, like, screen record option, and then she was like, "But also, if you don't wanna do that, you can just use your old ass phone, and every time you open a message, you just videotape that message. So remember that next time you're sending nudes to somebody that you may or may not trust. Also, don't send nudes. It's a bad policy, man. Bad policy. What's a sub on Twitch? Hey, Tracy. Tracy, what's a sub? I have this like Twitch notification. It's all buy a new sub or gift sub by August 19th to get 3 months of Apple TV. And I'm like, what's a sub? Why would I want one? I'm guessing it's not a sandwich. I'm assuming it's a subscription, but a subscription to what? Why would I wanna buy a subscription to get 3 months of Apple TV? Why wouldn't I just buy a subscription to Apple TV? I mean, I guess it's kind of a two-for-one deal, right? You could buy a subscription to something on Twitch, but what kind of purchase subscriptions are there on Twitch that, are the thing? Like, why would I wanna subscribe to something on Twitch anyway? I guess there are people on Twitch that people are subscribing to, and they charge for those subscriptions, and it thinks I want those people. Yeah, I wish I had time to just watch people on Twitch. That would be cool. I barely have time to be on Twitch, much less to watch other Twitch casts, right? Tracy, what are your favorite Twitch or what do you call them? Twitch cast? Twitches? I'm still learning. Oh, and I 100% got hit with, YouTube copyright violations the other day. You know what's funny is I just found out when I was looking at other YouTube copyright violations that I got, that I have YouTube copyright violations on stuff I haven't even posted yet. I thought I posted this video I took of Metallica in Phoenix, and apparently I didn't post it. It was just in drafts. But even just sitting in drafts, it got a copyright strike from the record company. And I'm like, cool. So now I like disputed it. And then that's when I found that there was also a copyright strike on my Rolling Stones video that I posted, and those copyright strikes don't count because I videotaped that myself at a live performance, which means, you know, it's not theirs. I'm not stealing content. I'm creating content. And but I still have to like go through the dispute process and wait for YouTube to be like, okay. It took you 6 times to send a message because it wanted to do an update first. Oh my gosh. That's exhausting. I was taking a hearing test today. Everybody get your hearing tested because we old, and we go to lots of concerts. And in the hearing test, she wanted me to use this online hearing test thing that they have, but the testing software was so ass that like it didn't work. And then I had to go and do one portion of one test again, but there was no direct link to that test. So I had to go do the whole questionnaire again to get to that test. But as I did the whole questionnaire and went to go to the next, I somehow accidentally just barely touched the chat box. And when I touched the chat box, it opened a chat. And when I tried to go back in, it started the questionnaire all over again and wouldn't let me bypass the shit I had already answered. And that's when I was just like, nope. Sorry, I am not fucking doing that. That was just entirely too irritating. Um, Good news is though, from what I did do of the hearing test, I have great ears. I also learned that if you tug your ear up when you put earplugs in, it gives you a better seal on your earplugs, a better setting for earplugs to nestle in your ear canal and have a good seal to provide the hearing protection necessary. Because I have gone to a lot of concerts and I am really surprised I'm not fucking deaf right now by now. Um, I remember Steven Seaweek when I would come into the studio, he would have a really hard time hearing. And if I were to talk to him and he was facing the board, like if I walked in behind him, he wouldn't hear me walk in. And if I started talking and I wasn't like, Steven, he'd have no idea what I was saying. And then he'd turn around and be like, oh, hey, when did you get here? And I'm like, I have been talking for the last 5 minutes. You heard none of it. But it's just, he came up in the 60s and 70s and 80s going to concerts like crazy pants. And hearing protection just wasn't a thing then. Nobody thought about it. Nobody did it. And now here we are, knowing better. She also said that my jumping on the bandwagon of hearing protection in the 90s made my hearing probably a lot better off than it would have been by now. I mean, because I still get a little tinnitus, right? Everybody gets some of that. Not Huey Lewis levels of tinnitus, but every once in a while, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my ears. Not cool. Not cool. Hi, it's Simone.
Hello?
Hi, what's happening?
Did I win? Did I win?
What do you think? Did you hear a cue to call? Did you hear somebody like me say caller 10 right now at 888-303-BONE wins a pair of tickets?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, but not that. I got it just like that. No, wasn't just like that. You must have heard a commercial or something.
Darn it.
Yeah, I do see where a commercial recently aired, and it aired after I said sometime this hour, you're gonna hear a cue to call, be listening for it.
We were there.
Stay there, stay
Can't we get
there.
on the early death?
There is no early, there's only the cue to call list, and it's 10 people long, and only one of them wins tickets.
I did.
Yeah.
Try again.
Okay, be listening because it does come up this hour. It's happening before
Okay.
4 o'clock.
Okay. Okay.
All right, good luck. Okay, metal zone, metal zone, metal zone. Hey, PJ. Your chiropractor is a magician, huh? Excellent. Hey, Tracy, you almost failed and you were gonna go to Facebook? Like, it's that bad? It's so weird because Twitch is usually the better of the platforms for latency, but you're welcome on all of them. I don't do anything different with any of them. It's all the same thing. All the messages come to one place for me. Oh, shit, Thunderwolf is back. You forgot you were downloading something and you had to refresh. Hey, Melissa. PJ, who are you telling to kick rocks? Well, I mean, I think the first thing we all wanna know is, have the edibles kicked in? How many milligrams are you taking today? And, was there any fallout from that 300 milligrams? Because I still can't believe that any one human ate 300 milligrams of weed and lived to tell about it. Just ever. That's crazy. Realistically, I gotta quit fucking around Facebook and, start making this metal zone, you know? Early caller 9. Yeah, they're caller -9, dude. Hey, Umberto, what's new, man? You wish you did right now, but at the same time, you're in a mentally bad spot for high dosage edibles. I I don't know what's a mentally good spot for high dosage edibles because, wow. I feel like if you're in a spot that somehow will allow you to accept 300 milligrams of THC into your body, you've already won at life without the 300 milligrams of THC. Like, whatever it is that's allowing you to do that is already what I'm trying to achieve. Hey, Christopher, how's it going? What's new? What's new? Hey, Sherry. Yes, so far no COVID. What can I say? I mean, I don't think I can catch it anymore. I think I got it that one time, and I think that's it. Um, I think I don't know. Maybe that's just like my superpower. Lord knows I have no other health related superpowers. But I got the flu when I was a kid, and I think I've had the flu like twice. Like, I remember having it once because I had it on my birthday. It was, like, my ninth birthday or some shit like that, and then I remember having the flu again once, like, as an adult in my 20s, my early 20s, and that's it. Like, I have not had the flu in decades, and, I also have had COVID once, and I can't seem to catch COVID again, no matter how hard I try. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, I just went to Comic-Con all weekend where I was not avoiding anyone or anything, and I met a bunch of new people, and I shook hands with a bunch of people, and, I hung out with my friend who I go to Comic-Con with every year, and he came down COVID positive Monday morning or Tuesday morning, and I seem to still be fine. So, I think I'm good. Let everyone know that the Art and Wine Festival in Fremont starts this weekend. Ooh, I love a good art and wine festival. Fremont's a little deep for me. I'm more of a Lafayette, Walnut Creek Art and Wine Festival girl. But yeah. Dang, Melissa, can you handle 300 mils? Because, like, what? What? That's insane. Oh no, you guys are breaking up? I thought you guys were in a better place and stuff. You still have dabs. Well, fair enough. I thought you guys went, like you guys had made so much progress, but now it's not happening, huh? For a minute. That's not how edibles work, Melissa. 300 milligrams is not for a minute, it's for a month. No, I'm kidding. It's I don't know. Ask Thunderwolf. How long did 300 milligrams last you? Like 2 days? I mean, I can't imagine. Like I said, I did 25 milligrams once, knocked me on my ass for 8 straight hours. So I don't know how that scales to 300 milligrams, but I would just guess that it's several hours. Several? Aw, I don't know, Tracy. Well, I know KMBR is doing it, but they don't play music. I'm not sure who else is. The worst you ever got was after eating oysters on the half shells. Well, that's salmonella, probably. That's poisoning. You basically got poisoned. So, yeah, that's not really an illness that you catch. That's a poison that you give yourself by accident, obviously. But yeah. Um, well, first of all, PJ gets up at some godforsaken hour. So, no. Secondly, I don't do breakfast burritos. So, definitely no. And lastly, that motherfucker lives like in Gilroy. I'm not even driving by his house. Hey, Tom, you only got it once? Yeah, I only got it once too. Going to Scotland in a few weeks. I don't know why you would get it more out there than anywhere else. Um, I'm still trying to the man. The man? Thanks, man. You're headed to Home Depot? Yeah, it's everywhere again. There's a heat wave coming, but it's not like a 100-degree heat wave. It's gonna be like a mid-90s heat wave. Shootout in Salinas? What the fuck? I mean, it's Salinas, so how do people run wearing cowboy boots? That's what I wanna know. Things were going great until suddenly she decided to dump you and block you at random? Yeah, but doesn't she have, like, a bipolar thing going on? So maybe she was having an episode? Well, again, I am always gonna say do what's right for you. So if what's right for you is letting that shit go, then let that shit go. But if you think that this was episodic and you guys are in it for the long haul, 'cause I thought you were, like, engaged or proposing or something, then, just take a separation, take a step back and let things happen for a while. Sometimes people with mental illness just need that space, you know? They just need that space, and they need to know that you're not dumping them, so they dump you to see if you'll dump them, to see if you'll walk away. It's a weird strategy. Yeah, I have no tolerance, Melissa, so I don't know how to gauge what people with tolerance have. Yeah, PJ B. Hobbs just said, "You're to bed." Yeah, definitely give me pictures of that thing in Salinas. Um, I am curious. So, yeah, I mean, it's funny too because yesterday, remember how I was feeling all icky and I was like, "I'll bet you I got that COVID because me getting a headache and that's what the COVID is." But nope, was not. Still. Although I was let's see, the last exposure I would have had was, like, hugging my friend goodbye Monday morning on the way to the airport. So technically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow will probably be the test, right? I should probably order more tests because I only have 1 more for tomorrow morning, and I think it takes about 3 days or so to show up. The one time I did catch COVID, I think I got exposed on Sunday, and then I tested positive well, I think I got exposed on Sunday, and I tested positive on Friday. So, I don't know. We're supposed to have a lunch meeting tomorrow here at the station, and, it's like, if I go, I'm gonna have to wear a mask because just in case, I don't wanna be, like, infecting everybody. It's going around right now. Hella people are got it. Hella people got it at the station, you know? Um, but we'll see. Does anybody think Saturday Night Live is funny anymore? I feel like Saturday Night Live is gonna if the writers are good, they're gonna have a field day with everything that's going on right now. Did you see they just signed Maya Rudolph? We knew she was coming back, right? I mean, just like when they got, Tina Fey to come back to play Sarah Palin, that shit was hilarious. I wonder what they're paying her. It's gonna be a chunk. Not no $100,000,000 Robert Downey Jr. money, but it's gonna be a chunk. Oh, autocorrect. I'm trying to say pillage, and it changed to pilate. I don't even know what pilate means, but apparently pillage has 2 L's, and I cannot seem to hit that L button twice. There we go. People are super pissed about this Robert Downey Jr. thing. It's like 1 in 5 people is thrilled about Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doom, and, like, everybody else is all, "Fucking he's not gonna be Doom, the Tony Stark Doom is not the good one." I mean, I'm all for paying actors, but I want them to pay writers too, don't you think? Where was I? Yeah, I hear you, Wolf. And you know what? Honestly, if they almost need a support group for that sort of thing, they really do, because it's kind of like Al-Anon, the person who is in your life that does that, um, leaves just a wake of trauma and damage to everyone in their lives. And alcoholics have support groups, drug addicts have support groups, but they don't make family of mental illness support groups. Like I said, do what's right for you. You know? If walking away is what's right, then walking away is what's right. Take a break. I like to tell people go 3 to 6 weeks without even thinking about that person, because there's this thing called the love chemical that is produced in your brain, and once you bond with a person, your brain just keeps chucking that chemical at you so that you'll love them and stay with them and make babies with them. It's like an evolutionary thing, and then what your brain doesn't know is that even if you broke up with that person, it doesn't matter, because every time you think about them, your brain is still pumping that chemical into your head to bond you to them. So you basically have to quit a relationship like you would quit smoking. You have to get completely away from it for like 3 to 6 weeks to stop the addiction to the love chemical in your brain. The man is your initials from your name, so your initials are TM. Okay, cool. Cox and Salinas. Of course you see Sully on the wall behind me. Sully's been on the wall for since long before he passed away. We've always missed him. We missed him when he just retired. Now we miss him even more because he's not with us anymore. Last time I saw him was when Steven Seagal got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame. You don't like Tina Fey, Marlon? Who has the most awesome resting bitch face in a still photo on the internet? I don't know. Are you implying it's me? Like when I'm typing, you like my resting bitch face? Oh, you love Tina Fey? Yeah, she's fucking funny, dude. I feel you, Wolf. I feel you. Nobody deserves it. Nobody deserves to be treated badly by another person. And it doesn't make you feel any better to know that that trauma comes from trauma and that people, it's trite, but hurt people. And they don't do it on purpose. They just do it. It's a, it's a reaction. And a lot of times it's a trauma-based reaction. And that doesn't make it better. It just means that that person that you're in a relationship with is not in a place where they can sustain a relationship. So what you want to do is get away, break the addiction, and start fresh with somebody who is ready to be in a relationship. Maybe one day that'll be her, but it ain't her, and it ain't her now, and it's not going to be for a while. Not if she did that. That's weird. Good for him. Hey, Mike. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, you know, Hobson, I am happy for Robert Downey Jr. Don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled that he's back in the MCU. I don't think this was an intentional stunt on his part. He really was done with superhero movies as an actor, and I think he was looking forward to moving on. But Disney was all, here's a shit ton of money, brother. And he was like, I could take 2 years. I think he'll do a great job. But the MCU is not just two movies every couple of years, is it? It's a whole franchise of movies and TV shows now. Um, and it's movies, TV shows, and animation now, right? Or have they not gone into animation yet for the MCU? Is it just the DC, EU, and the Star Wars universe that have done that? But anyway, I'm sure Marvel is looking to get into animated offshoots as well, because Disney, right? And honestly, the money can only go so far, right? Right now, Disney is throwing money at these options, but are they really supporting them? Right? Like, sorry, boss text. Um, Robert Downey Jr. doesn't make a movie all by himself, right? He needs a great director and a great script. So if you're already spending $100 million on just one guy, how much is that movie going to cost? If that movie costs $500 million to make and it doesn't gross $1 billion, Disney's fucked, right? No, not me. You don't like my resting bitch face? Hang on a second, guys. I got to do it. Okay. You're welcome, Jacob. I don't know what Google says about organic friendships, but hopefully it's not weird. Hopefully Google and I have the same idea of what that means. Okay. Oh, hear me sniffly? Oh man, Miguel. Oh, Miguel Angel Nieves. That makes sense. Nieves, is that right? Am I saying it right? I took Spanish like in junior high, and then I took the same Spanish classes again in high school so I could get the easy A because I was lazy. In hindsight, I really should have just gone further with Spanish so that I'd be better at fucking Spanish right now, but nope. Oh, I should do this part first. Okay. You guys, it's August tomorrow. I am not prepared for August at all. Am I originally from California? Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Born and raised NorCal all the way. No errors. Yay. Excellent. I love it when there's no errors all the way across. It never happens. Let's see. Now I have to print. We are very close to caller 9, PJ. Very close. Oh, what? Hmm. Okay. Okay. That is all done. I need this back up. Okay. Um, now let's just make sure that we have commercials for tomorrow. Yep. Cool. All right. Where were we, folks? We are good to go. Um, TMZ has like a resting bitch face category or something. I'm confused by that. Hmm. I know, dude, right? No COVID days for me on account of I can't catch COVID because I literally feel like I have COVID every day. I live a baseline of like mild COVID symptoms. Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh man, sneezy, allergy, constant off and on headaches. If I don't stay very hydrated, I'll have like a random cough that won't go away until I drink a shit ton of water. I ache. I have the body aches. You know, I'll have like a hot flash, so it's like a fever. Like I have all the COVID symptoms like every fucking day. So when people are like, "Are you symptomatic?" I'm all, yeah. Let's see. You think organic friendships are better than natural friendships? No manipulation or forced situations, i.e., coworker friendships. The time it takes to grow peanuts. That's okay. Um, I did not know that that was the designation of organic versus natural, but I'm not mad at that. I mean, some of my work relationships have turned into some of my longest term friends. So you never know. It's just who gets you and who you get, that's how you find the people. Let's see. Wolf, your mind is going through the stages of grief and the trauma at a point where it's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone has a severe reaction to a breakup. That's not unusual. What's unusual is if you have a severe reaction to a breakup for an extended period of time, like 3 weeks later, are you still as upset as you were on day 1? And if that's the case, then you need to get some help. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Um, but I would suggest starting out with, she's already blocked you. That relationship is already over. So remove all the things that remind you of her and start some kind of transference that every time you start thinking about her, you have something that you pivot to. Oh God, I just realized I'm thinking about her. Okay. Let me get my crochet. Oh, I just realized I'm thinking about her. Let me get this that I really like and open it up. Like whenever she is in your space, mentally, physically, metaphorically, you need to remove her from that space and immediately focus on something constructive for you personally. And yes, the body aches are the worst part about age, about COVID, about everything. I've been trying to yoga my ass out of it, but it is not. But I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But I did walk like 4 miles this morning, so hopefully it'll help. I'll see. Um, you don't need a gym. I never go to the gym. Oh, look at we got these early birds. Hi, it's them. Hello.
Hey, Nikki Blakk.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm just practicing.
Are you practicing?
I'm practicing because I want to rock.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Right on. Hey, 15 pictures of the Comic-Con.
Oh, thanks. I got to get more pictures up. I got a bunch of Comic-Con pictures I haven't put up yet, and I really need to do that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to run into one these days.
I'm all over the place. I'm easy to find.
Yeah, I'm practicing, so let's see if I get to be great today.
All right. Good luck.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Who are you calling, darling? I mean, I appreciate the terms of endearment from people I know, but from strangers, we're not in the South. All right. Let's see. Here comes the cuticle. It's GNF and R on 107. There we go. All right. So now we got about a minute to wait. Answer. Hey Dan. You didn't miss much. Actually, we're about to do caller 10. Or in PJ's case, caller 9. Yeah, allergies suck. I don't know if I'm having an allergy. I think what it is, because I've been tested meticulously for allergies. We thought it was allergies. I was taking all these crazy allergy pills, and like at one point I was drowning in allergy pills, and my doctor was like, "Wait, you're taking what?" And I was like, "Well, at night I take a 24-hour Zyrtec, and in the morning I take a 24-hour Claritin, hoping that the two of them work. And then also midday when it gets really bad, I will take Sudafed." And she was like, "What? The actual?" She's like, "Stop. Just stop." She's like, "Just take a Zyrtec at night. That's enough. If that's not enough, then what's happening to you is not an allergy." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I think what I have is like some sensitive sinus thing going on. Whenever there's a barometric change in the pressure, I get a headache or I start sneezing or I get like sinusy shit going on. So it never goes away. But now I have the neti pot, so that helps a lot. I kind of don't have the same I used to get sinus infections all the time, and I used to get strep throat all the time, and now I don't get either one because I'm gargling with salt water and I'm rinsing the old sinuses out with salt water too. Okay, here we go. Want me to Do I want you to call a number? I don't know, I might. See, let's see how I feel about it. Um, well, Thunder, if you wanna exercise, there are ways to exercise without equipment. The Singer Shadows Fall has some workouts online that don't require equipment at all or anything. Honestly, my doctor's a big fan of just going on walks. He's like, "You don't have to work out, you don't have to do shit. You just need to take a walk. Walk briskly for 10 minutes after every meal." That's her whole thing. Alright, let's see. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 1. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 2. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 3. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 4. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 5. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 6.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 7. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 8. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 9. Sorry, dude. So close.
Oh,
And he hung up. Alright, let's see. Hi, it's Sabone, who's this?
Kevin, am I caller number 10?
Hi, Kevin, you might be. Have you won anything from Bone in the last 30 days?
Never.
Never? What? Are you sure?
I'm positive anything from you guys.
What's your last name, Kevin?
H-U-C-K.
One more time. You're cutting out on me.
It's H-U-C-K.
Like Huckleberry Finn?
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, Kevin. You're caller 10. I need to get some information from you.
Awesome.
Kevin, you got a pair of tickets to the Lamont and Tinelli Ball on Friday, August 16th at the Toyota Pavilion in Concord. We're going to email the tickets to you. So keep an eye on your spam filter. Make sure you're looking out for that email in the next couple of weeks. And when you get, as soon as you see the email, open it and click the link inside to accept the tickets, and then they'll be delivered to you through either like a Live Nation or a Ticketmaster account.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, you got it, man. Have a good one. Cheers.
Yep.
First time winner, yes. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I get it, Wolf. I mean, everybody likes what they like, but if you don't have what you like, you still gotta do something, which is why it's important to just do something. Just fucking do something. Doesn't matter what it is, just fucking do something. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be the right thing. It doesn't need to be anything ultra specific. You gotta, like, step out of that OCD mindset where you feel like the thing needs to be the thing. It doesn't need to be the thing, man. It needs to be anything. Anything that's not her. And if you don't have anything that's the thing in front of you, fucking put something else in front of you. Have a list of things that can be the thing if that's gonna be a problem, you know? If you feel like you can't exercise because you don't have the weights or the equipment, then, you're gonna have to reassess what is your idea of exercise and do something new, you know? Get a bike, buy a couple of dumbbells off of Facebook Marketplace or some shit for cheap, and then do a dumbbell workout at home. I mean, I've got yoga mat and a couple of dumbbells, and, I had somebody give me a treadmill and, an elliptical that they were getting rid of, you know? So for, like, $100, I basically have a gym at my house because all my shit is, like, secondhand crap, but it works just fine, you know? Um Oh, yeah, right now, Dan, with all those fires, you're just gonna be in sinus hell for a very long time. You wanted to hike the PCT? Do not fuck around hiking the PCT. It's tough. Make sure that you are planning and planning and planning and planning and planning. And then outside of the plans, have like backup plans and other plans because people end up needing to get rescued on that trail all the time. Plus, there's no way to do, I mean, you can do segments of it. You know, if you just want to go out and hike and you're like, woo, let's do a segment of the PCT, cool. But if you're one of those like people that's like, I'm gonna hike the PCT from the top of California to the bottom of California, get help. What's the difference between COVID symptoms and fentanyl symptoms? Every I don't know, Google the list. I don't know what fentanyl symptoms are. Um, I only had fentanyl once, and it was be part of like a procedure, and all I wanted to do was sleep. I felt high as fuck, and I was so high that knowing how much I love burritos, my parents went and got me like my favorite El Pastor burrito and put it next to me on the bed, and all I did was sleep for like 2, 3 hours before I was not high enough to eat that burrito. But I did wake up and eat that burrito because burritos. So how high does Nikki Blakk have to be to not eat a fucking fresh hot burrito that is sitting right next to her head? Just imagine that. No, don't do it. You believe in the contact high? Yes, contact highs are real. Contact high is very real. Let's see, where am I time-wise? Nope. Oh, huh, actually a little bit early. Hmm. Mhm. Oh, that's a bit early. Yeah. Hold the phone here. Oh, well, that's still on time, so that's good. Okay. One oh seven telephone. Oh, hold on. do this. Yeah. Fix that. 1077 The Bone. I'm with Daughter. I'm Nikki Blakk, still loving that new Dark Matter album from Pearl Jam, and surprised to see Joe Perry say that new Aerosmith music is, quote, definitely a possibility, especially since they're on their Peace Out tour. Okay. You got to get back to helping out in the kitchen with Cal Fire orders. All right. Have fun, Dan. Stay sane in that crazy. I know it's rough up there. Probably really hot too. Hot, dusty, and windy and smoky. Ugh. I remember those days. 17 and 19 were tough years, man. I had to evacuate my parents twice. Because my dad lived in Napa and my mom lived in Fairfield. So one week I went and when we had the really bad fires, um, one week I went and had to evacuate my dad and my stepmom, and then the following week, the fire had burned, right? The Atlas Peak fire burned all the way through Berryessa and was starting to threaten my mom's neighborhood in Fairfield. So I went through and just cleaned out all the important shit there, just in case. Fortunately, they both were fine. The fire did get, like, right onto the ridge behind my dad's house. It was very close to my dad's house, the Partridge fire, but they down. It's a great story. Have you heard that one? So, the Partridge fire, which was right behind my dad's house in Browns Valley, um, was started on Partridge Road, and some guys who own property up there and must have been farmers, had their bulldozers, and they basically spent the whole week because the Atlas fire was burning across on the other side of the valley, and it was decimating everything and moving so much faster and so much worse, and threatening so much more. They pulled all of CAL FIRE, also it was less contained. They pulled all of CAL FIRE and sent them over there, and these guys who had their bulldozers just spent a whole week just bulldozing the fire line over and over, driving down into town, gassing up the bulldozer, driving back up, and just bulldozing the fire line until the orchard fire burned out, and they really saved that whole neighborhood, um, and it was intense, really intense. Fortunately, my mom's neighborhood was only on, like, evacuation warning, but the reason I was worried is because my parents were on this, like, 35th anniversary cruise around, like, on the other side of the world, like, literally on a ship in Europe, and I was like, "How are we gonna reach them?" And not panic them on their anniversary trip, but also, we kinda need to know where everything is. Um, so that was scary, and, I think what we did was we got a message to the ship, and then the ship got a message to them to call us, and then when they got to their next port, they called us on their cell phones, and, when you're in the middle of the ocean, it is really hard to get through to somebody. Or maybe we sent an email. Might have sent an email, whatever it was, anyway, and they were like, "What's happening?" And I'm like, "Calm down. It's not quite to us, and it's, you guys are the neighborhood." Like, they were telling, they were telling Mancos Corner to be on alert for evacuation, and my parents are just the next neighborhood after Mancos Corner, basically. So, I was like, "Listen, it hasn't gotten to us, but before it does get to us, because you guys are so hard to reach and you're so far away, and I'm gonna have to do this, um, tell us where everything is. We're just gonna get that shit out now just in case." So I spent that whole summer, like, just filling my garage with Costco tubs of my parents' shit. Anyway, fortunately, they were everybody was fine on our end. We got lucky. That's weird. I just got, like, a triptych buzz, but there's no notification. Doesn't look like anything happened. Weird. I talked to Slayer's publicist today, and we are just one step closer to my interview with Carrie King. So hopefully that's going to happen. I keep wondering if I should do another interview in the meantime, or if I should just hold out for that one because it's coming up. There's so much happening in August. I feel like there's just going to be, I don't want to like vomit up so much content and then have like an interview get lost, you know? Did I miss anybody or have we? All right, let's see. I do absolutely need to make the Metal Zone. So, and I have to make Metal Zone because I'm so late in the week. I have to make it with songs I've already played at least once. But you know what? We've been doing Metal Zone since February. So there are a lot of really good songs um, that we have played at least once. And I think we are going to have to do some King Diamond, right? Do I have King Diamond? I might just have Merciful Fate. Let me see. What's on the list? Nobody thought King Diamond was going to be playing fucking Thanksgiving, dude. That is so crazy, right? JJK. Oof. Let's see anything. Oh, we definitely have to play more Gojira because holy shit, Gojira, the shot heard around the world. I have gone back and read. I've gone back to that post where I posted the Gojira at the Olympics opening ceremony video, and I'm not kidding you. I'm watching it like multiple times a day. It's that good. Okay, I do have King Diamond. I thought I did. Abigail. You know what? I'll bet you it's in the system if I try to pull it up. Since I don't have an intern who's updating everything, I don't have an updated list of cut numbers that I've already played so that I know what the cut numbers are. It's super irritating. But also, it's just too late in the week to try and like play something we haven't played before. Oh, come on. Why can't I find it? All right, let me see if it's here. Oof. King Crimson. Oh, I don't see it in here. Maybe I haven't played it yet. Uh, well, then, I guess we are going to have to play King Diamond next week. Whoops. Is there a search function in Microsoft Word? Could I search this document for what I'm looking for? But not a search mode? Come on. File, edit. All right, I give up. No King Diamond this week. Hey, Harry. What? You're from Fairfield? Interview Alice Cooper. I love that you think I've got that juice, but no, I do not. But also there's no point in interviewing Alice Cooper or Rob Zombie because they've already played here and they're not gonna be here again anytime soon. So they really don't have any reason to do an interview for promo for the San Francisco market. Harry, are you from Fairfield or do you live there now? Mm. What's the date on Saturday? Is it the 3rd? Yep. Okay. You're in Fairfield now. You were in San Jose for a long time. Hmm. I can't tell you much about Fairfield now. I haven't lived there since the 90s. Um, I moved to Vacaville in 94, which is basically North Fairfield. But then in 99, I moved in PA, and I haven't been back because, well, you're there. Oh, cool. Yeah, I still have family in Fairfield. I mean, I'm still out there, like, often. Um, just not that often. You know what I've noticed? No good Indian food. There's, like, 2 or 3 different Indian restaurants, and they're, like I've tried 2 of them, and they're both mediocre. I don't get it. Why is it so hard to find good Indian this far north? In San Jose, right? You got the good Indian food, all kinds of good food from all areas of the country, but you get as far north as Fairfield, Vacaville, Napa, meh. Fortunately, I have a really good Indian spot in, Concord. Yeah. Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont is convinced everyone is on dope. They are. Everyone is on something. Very few people are, like, stone cold sober. Yeah, Fairfield kinda sucks. Yeah, that's why I moved out of there. There's a lot of suck in Fairfield. I know everyone feels like their own hometown is a certain level of it, but, Fairfield lives up to that dream. It really does. Um, and it's funny too because a lot of my friends that are still there well, let's just say tell. You can tell who's still in Fairfield and who's moved out slash moved on. Oh, 420 Floyd, yay. Whoops, and this needs to be mm. 1077 The Bone with Don Henley and Dirty Laundry. I'm Nikki Blakk and Don Henley's ex-girlfriend, Stevie Nicks. I know. She says that when she came to Glasgow, she just went back and played there, that what happened was she woke up in the middle of the night in a castle where she was staying in Scotland preparing for the show and had some crazy leg infection and the butler at the casino had to throw her in the back of the BMW in the middle of the night, and she had to have a surgical procedure that required a few days of recovery, so she couldn't go the next day, but they were able to schedule it. Wow. Listen, people, we are not ready to lose Stevie Nicks, okay? If your daughter wasn't there, you wouldn't be either. I don't blame you. Some nobody's in Fairfield because they want to be. It's always something that's making them be there. I mean, usually it's the military, people stationed at Travis or whatever. Lifers, people who were born there and never left. Um, Retired military. They were like people that like got in while they were in the military and then retired and were like, well, I can afford to live here. And if I move, then I have to move out of state because I can't afford to move anywhere else, kind of thing. Once you're in Scottsdale, it's tough to go anywhere else. And when people do finally move out, they end up moving out of state because they can't afford to live anywhere else in the state. It's not easy. I'm really lucky in the respect that I had that drilled into me at a young age, like not by other people. Like I just saw it. I just knew. And the second I finished college, I started looking to buy a house in the Bay, and it was tough because oh my god, this was like 2001, and I wasn't making shit for money, but I had really good credit. And back then, you could get away with stuff if you had really good credit. But also, I was going to have to make the payments, And so I'm looking around for houses, and it's just ridiculous. The housing prices were dirt cheap back then by comparison, right? You could get a house for like under 200,000 in the Bay, but the interest rates were like 8.5%. So the payment was the same as if you were buying like a $500,000 house because the interest rates were so high. And I didn't have, 20 or 30 grand to put down, um, saved up or whatever. So I just kept looking and looking and looking. And as I was looking, a couple of years went by and the interest rates started to go down and the prices started to go up. And I kind of just caught it right in the middle, um, and then held on for dear life. So I've been in my house for 20 years now. But if I hadn't, I definitely would be one of those people crying about how I might have to leave the Bay because I can't afford to live here because that is a real thing. All right, metal, 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 metal. We need some more for the metal zone. What did we play last week? Last week, Goat Horror, Exodus. Um, what other concerts got announced this week? I know there's another one besides King Diamond. What was it? God, I have like 1,000 tabs open right now for articles that I need to read that I haven't read. Otherwise, I will not be up on what's happening. And then people will be like, did you know this happened? And I'll be like, maybe. Oh, see, like I totally forgot about this. They're doing a prequel for The Boys. Like, what? And that is like they're doing another Lord of the Rings series, or is this part of the Rings of Power series? This is the same Ring of Power series. Nobody cares about Lord of the Rings anymore. It's sad. Everybody's all pissed off. Let's see. Who's opening for King Diamond? Oh, Obituary. Obituary. That'll be fun. At least I think I've played Obituary already, right? I have to check like 8 places to see if it's already in the system for some reason. Maybe I haven't played it yet. Oh, I have. There we go. Okay. We'll put them down here though, right? 6 seconds. 00256. Is that right? Obituary. I don't care. Your daughter and me would listen to me in San Jose when you were trimming? Aw, that's awesome. You don't have to wink wink at trimming anymore because we just leave it now. So maybe you can settle something for me if you're fine talking about this or not, because I keep hearing from people that a good weed trimmer can make like $100,000 a year. That like good weed trimmers are hard to find, and if you can be a good weed trimmer, then you can make a lot of money. Is that true? Is it true? Are the weed trimmers, like, that high in demand if they're good at it? Or is a weed trimmer like a $20 an hour off the books kind of person? Curious. Play I killed the prom queen sharks in your mouth. No, just no. But I love that you guys used to listen, Harry. I'm glad you're here again, you can still get the station in Fairfield, right? I don't think we're fighting signal out there, are we? I think you lose it going over the hills in Vallejo. I think you lose it on 80 going through the hills, but once you drop back down past Scandia, you should be able to pick us up again, right? And then you lose it again in, Licking Valley, but in Fairfield proper, I'm pretty sure you can get the phone. Although if you do have trouble with reception, download the Bone app, and you can listen on your phone with your earbuds or, put your Bluetooth into the car or through speakers, etcetera. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Alright, what was I looking at? Oh, yeah, I was looking at bands I am gonna play on the Metal Zone this weekend, and I was getting irritated because nobody cares about Lord of the Rings anymore. Oh. Nobody cares about Def Leppard's video recap. Oh my god, you guys, Papa Roach and Daughtry were on Family Feud yesterday. I totally forgot to follow up on that. They were in April. Oh, it's streaming on Hulu. I might have to look at that. I haven't watched a Family Feud episode since I was homesick from school, but that just sounds too weird. Daughtry and Roach, what the F? Um, Randy Blythe from Lamb of God is getting another book. Steve Harris from Iron Maiden's daughter has married Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones' son. I think that's adorable, and I cannot wait to see those wedding. Let's see. Partridge, Joe Satriani. God damn it. I know there's another show that got released this week, and I thought I had it. Oh, High on Fire. That's right. Where's that show coming? High on Fire to the UC Theater. Bitchin'. Do I have High on Fire in the list? I feel like I do. Yep. Yeah. There we go. All right. Wait, when was the last time I played him? Did I play him last week? I did not. Perfect. Okay. No, for fuck's sake. You know when you format something and somebody else formats it completely differently, and all you wanna do is copy and paste, and they just seem to break their format for your format, even though your format was first? That made sense, didn't it? Ah, sorry, no. I know. I know. Effing terrible. What can I say? Um Oh, and speaking of Saturday Night Live, they've confirmed that movie that they're gonna make with the original cast. Not with the original cast, I'm sorry. They're doing a not rated players biopic, which should be very cool. My god, I haven't updated the concert calendar, I haven't updated the playlists. I am the worst Metal Zone host Ugh, I miss having interns. I'm a better teacher than I am a host. Let's see, where are we? It's August. What shows are coming up? Fucking Red Fang. Oh, that was July. Never mind. I forgot about that one. Why did I miss that show? I don't know. I just did. Let's see. Oh, Mudvayne is next week. Let's play Mudvayne. Can I play next week though? I wonder. Hmm, let me see. We did not play Mudvayne last week. Perfect. You know who else we didn't play while I'm on the topic? Motorhead. Let's get some fucking Motorhead up in here. There we go. You don't know about the trim money? You guys were you guys trimming for fun, not for fame and fortune? Oh, oh, okay. Well, look into it because rumor has it that a good pot trimmer is hard to find, and if you're really good at it, you can make a bunch of money. I just keep hearing that from people, but I don't hear it from people who are actually in the industry. I just keep hearing it from randos. It's like one of those urban legends. Dude, if you can trim pot, you can make a bunch of money kind of thing. I mean, Sherry, look into it and let me know if you find out because I'm dying to know. I can't do it because I got a repetitive motion injury, so I definitely could not trim weed. I would be like toast. You know, I like what I do in radio, so I probably wouldn't anyway. I gotta keep BRB. Oh, remember what I was saying? The muscle ache. I've been sitting down for like an hour and a half. Ow, ow, ow. time is it? Oh, I'm gonna grab something off the printer. BRB again. This one won't take as long. I don't have to wash my hands. Part of my. You do. Yeah. Yeah, no. I definitely want to put it in my purview.
So yeah, as far as I can tell, the back keeping is.
Okay. Yeah. I want to say it's happened, but I don't. I can't say for sure. Let me.
If you
Thanks, Andrew. All right. What I miss? Do what you're good at. For the metal zone, temple with nope. Plus, the metal zone's really been leaning in more of a classic direction. Um, since we restarted it because the station leans more in a classic direction. So a lot of what I've been playing is older, in part because I don't have the resources to play everything newer, but also in part because I think it makes sense for the station. You know, at least that's where I'm going with it. All right, let's see. These two guys can go over here. We'll do that later. Got to finish metal zone now. What the fuck? Your friend was staying in a house that you came in the night and the dude was dead on his back and you had to call 911, which was also the number on the house? What? That's really weird. How does that even happen, dude? I had to call 911 once, and I had gotten really stoned that night, and I had worked a really long day that day, and I was so disoriented when I woke up in the middle of the night and had to call 911 that I couldn't remember my address. I literally could not remember my house number. It was just not possible. I could tell you that story in a minute. I gotta do a commercial here real quick though. Alright, let's see. Oh, I gotta do it real quick. I thought I had more time than that. Nope. You guys don't want to hear the commercial, do you? All right. Sorry about that. Hey, Kelly, what's happening? Sorry, I was not able to get that commercial out in the time span that I wanted it to be. So I had to like move a song up so that I could take another couple of minutes on it. As much as I really want everything to be timed out correctly, sometimes it's better to give up the timing for the better sounding commercial because I don't know, I just wasn't doing it right. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Like not being able to find the pen when you know you had it just a couple minutes ago. Ah, there it is. And then I don't know if you heard IT asking me about this thing that our system was doing. So I'm trying to, you guys are, so now I'm trying to listen to see if the system is doing this thing where you, it's a thing. Don't worry about it. The sword, you know what? I don't think I have the sword in the new system. Think I have, but I think I do have it in the old system. So I might be able to play the sword for like, one sec. Oh, right. My 911 call story. That was fucking nuts, dude. So this is it. System did the thing. Um okay. I also have to do a cue to call though here real quick. Hold on. One minute. Oh, that's funny. I just heard Shasta doing the promo for the giveaway I'm about to do. And somebody just started calling. Nope. So here I am a million years ago. This was like 0203, I think. And I'm working for 311 at Shoreline Amphitheater. And it was a long ass day. And I've worked with them a bunch. I had worked with them a bunch at that point. And 311 was playing 311 had played the Warfield a few times, I think, and that's where or maybe I'd worked with their tour manager or something, this big redheaded guy named John. At any rate, we were awesome people. people. I barely knew the band at all, but the crew were great people, and I knew them pretty well. And at the end of the night, it's like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I still got an hour drive home, and I had to be at the Fillmore the next morning at like 9 a.m. And I was exhausted. And so, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, we'd like you to take someone to the airport." And I was like, "The fuck?" They're like, "Yeah, he's flying out tomorrow morning, and we're just gonna have you drop him at the airport." And I was like, "Dude, it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to be at the Fillmore tomorrow at like maybe it was 10 o'clock in the morning. I had to be at the Fillmore." I was like, "What time does dude have to be at the airport?" And they were like, "Well, he doesn't have to be. His flight's not till like 2 o'clock tomorrow." And I was like, "How about this? How about I take Denny to my place? I put him on the couch for the night. He and I both get like 5 hours of sleep before I drop him off at the Fillmore, and he catches a ride from the Fillmore to the airport where it's like, going to be a cab." And they were like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then Denny was even like, "Oh, I got a friend in the city who can come and get me." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do that." Because I was supposed to drive from the shoreline at like 2 o'clock in the morning to the airport, and then all the way home to Walnut Creek, and then all the way back to San Francisco to work at the Fillmore. I was going to get like 3 hours of sleep, and it was going to suck. So I bring Denny home to my place, and I'm staying at the time with my boyfriend at the time and my roommate at the time, and they're both stoners. And it was a long day, and I had like ridiculous amounts of coffee, and Denny was a stoner too. So the guys all got really high, and I got stoned, which I rarely did, especially if I had to work the next day, because I'm just not a good stoner. All I do is eat food. So I probably went to bed with like a handful of candy bars and a fucking spoonful of peanut butter. But I wake up in the middle of the night, and because I hear this like crash, then I hear it again, crash, and then I hear it again, crash, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's like right outside my window. I'm living in Walnut Creek. Shit like this doesn't happen in Walnut Creek, and then all of a sudden I hear bap, 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 and I'm like, "Yeah, that's gunshots. That is not firecrackers. That is gunshots. What the fuck is going on out there?" My boyfriend, like, literally jumps up out of bed in his Darth Maul boxers and bolts. And I'm like, "What the fuck? Where are you going? Somebody's shooting. There are crashing cars. What the hell?" But he was gone. There was no stopping him. And my roommate comes in and he's like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know." I'm like, "I'm calling fucking 911." He's like, "Call 911." He's like, "I'm gonna go find out what's going on." And I'm like, "None of y'all needs to be running out there right now. Like, there are gunshots. Stay down." Did none of you grow up in Solano County? So I'm calling 911 and they're like, "911, what's your emergency?" And I'm like, "Hi, I just heard like cars crashing inside my carport within a condo complex." And oh no, this was like 20 years ago. This is like 20 years ago. So I'm hearing car crashes right outside my window in the carport, and I'm pretty sure I heard gunshots. And they're like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I live on Walnut Boulevard in Walnut Creek." And they're like, "What is your house number?" And I'm like, that was not the screen froze. That was me. I could not freeze. And I was like, "It's Walnut Boulevard. It's right off of Ignacio Valley Road. Just Ignacio Valley Road down at Walnut Boulevard. There's no way you're gonna miss it." And they're like, "But what's your house number?" And I'm like, I, because I didn't want to give them the wrong number and have them not show up. And I was like, "You got to be getting more calls by now, right? I got to go. I don't know what's going on. I have to go. Can I please hang up the phone?" And they were like, "Okay." I was just so high and so disoriented. And it's pitch dark, right? It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I can't find my glasses. This is before I had the laser eye surgery. So I also can't see anything. I don't have my glasses, I don't have my contacts. I can't find my glasses in the dark. I'm afraid to turn on the lights because somebody's shooting. And I'm like, well, I don't want to turn on the lights and have somebody aim at my place. And my glasses. So I tiptoe downstairs, and there's poor fucking Denny on the couch from the 311, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I am so sorry. swear to God, I have no idea what's going on. Shit like this doesn't happen here. This is Walnut Creek. I'm like, I get pulled over in Walnut Creek for not having a license plate light on my car. Like the cops have nothing to do in Walnut Creek. So little that happens here. This is freaking nuts. I go, they're probably going to empty out the entire Walnut Creek Police Department on us right now. Plus, probably Cocoa County sheriffs and anybody else who's not doing anything. Because it was like a Tuesday night or something. Crazy. So I get outside and I can't see anything. Everybody's just like a blur, and I'm like squinting and trying to figure out. I'm like, do I see my boyfriend? Do I see my roommate? Finally, the cops turn up, and I see the cops, and I'm just like, okay, good. At least cops are here. Nobody's shooting anybody. I can come over here. So I walk out, in my PJs, and I'm like, so it turned out that my roommate's friend, who had a girlfriend that lived on the other side of our condo complex, was on his way out when he saw people breaking into the cars in our little area, and he knew that somebody had like broken into my car and stolen a credit card like a month earlier. So he was like, "Oh, I got these fucking boosters," and he drove a big truck. So he pulled his truck in and blocked their exit. And he was going to get out and be like Billy Badass, and like, busted out, call the cops on you assholes for breaking into cars in my friend's lot. These guys went batshit. They had this little Datsun B210 pickup, and they backed up and then wheeled it forward and rammed his truck. And when they couldn't get his truck to move, his truck was really big, and it just, I guess, I don't know, with the truck teeing them off, they weren't able to truck. So then they started ramming into this like brick sign that was just like a sign for the condo complex. And they rammed into that brick sign twice. And as they did that, it crumbled, and they were able to kind of jockey around that dude's truck on the lawn to pull out. But as that was happening, one of the neighbors heard this shit down, and he rolls out in his fucking cowboy boots and a fucking 6-shooter and just unloads on the pickup truck as he's driving away. And then we all had to go inside and smoke a joint and go back to bed because I had to be up in 3 hours to take fucking Denny to San Francisco and go to work at the floor. That was nuts. No PJ, huh? We got a caller 9 in here. It's a moments away. John, how what? That was a lot of stuff to how. All right, let's see. 9, dude. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 1. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 2. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 3. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 4. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 5. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 6. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 7. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 8. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 9. Sorry, dude. So close. Yeah. Take care, man.
All right, thank you.
Cheers. Never knows what's around the corner, right? For real. I mean, 4 o'clock in the morning, crazy shit. And dude's truck was fucked up. I mean, they rammed that truck hard. And then he couldn't get the truck out. We had to call because it was all they T-boned it. Let's see. Number between 1 and 10. Hi, it's the bone. Who's this? Hello?
Hello,
Hi, who's this?
this is Keith.
Hey, Keith. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Keith, have you won anything from the bone in the last 30 days? Have you won anything from the bone before?
A couple months ago, yeah.
Oh, I see you didn't want to give other people a chance, huh?
No,
Keith, what's your last name? How do you spell that? Congratulations, Keith. You got a pair of tickets to see Megadeth at the Concord Pavilion on August 20th. The tickets are going to be emailed to you. Oh, I know, right? You remember how to do it when the email comes in and you click on the link inside to accept the tickets? And the tickets get sent to you via email.
Got it.
Okay. Cool beans, man. Congratulations. You qualified for the grand prize as well. And if you win that, we'll give you a call next week and let you know. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cheers. All right. He's not a prize pig. To be fair, he's not a prize pig. He's won like one thing this year and one thing, I don't know, a couple years ago or whatever it was. But he won Soul Asylum tickets a couple of months ago. So it's not like he won like a big prize or anything. I'm not too mad. But you know, I do prefer to get those first time winners whenever I can. Just like send up an offering to the radio gods. Oh, I was going to tell the story about my shirt too. This is funny. My Let's Get Real Tesla shirt. So, when I was out on tour with Jackson Brown, bus drivers were really hard to get, right? This was 2022. So it was like this just going on to this first full year post pandemic, and everybody is touring that can. And bus drivers are in high demand. Gas prices are crazy. Um, everything is high. Everything is more expensive, but people want to go to concerts. So we're all out there trying to make it happen. And all the bus drivers were in crazy high demand. So we kept getting different bus drivers. And finally, we got this one bus driver who Jackson really liked, and he was adorable, even though it was a pain in the ass for me to get his vegan fucking meals every goddamn. I still did it because he was lovely, and you know, like not. I don't know if you know, but when you're a bus driver, when you're the bus driver, you show up at the end of the night, right? So if there's after show food, um, you don't always get it, you know. But we try to make it happen as like a cool thing to do for the bus drivers, because our lives are in their hands. And so, as a vegan, it makes it really hard because most of the Midwest does not have a vegan option to begin with. And then when they do have a vegan option, it's like bread and maybe salad, you know. So it was an effort to find things that he could eat that he would enjoy eating. And we did because, like I said, he was lovely. And then after we finished one run and he was coming back with us for the next run, he said, "Oh, I'm gonna be." He goes, "Guess who I'm going out with on in the in between?" He goes, "I'll be out with Tesla." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love Tesla. Please tell the guys I said hi." And he's like, "You know them?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've known them for a long time, actually." And he's like, "I will tell the boys you said hey." And then, sure enough, 2, 3 weeks later, go back out. He's like, "Girl, gay vegan bus." Um, he's like, "The boys from Tesla said they miss you too," and he brought me a T-shirt from the tour. So I was like, "Aw, thanks, Will." How do you piss off bus drivers, Will? You're such a peach. Don't they love you? I wonder if you've had my bus driver. I'll have to send you his name, see if you did. Although I will tell you the one time I pissed off the bus drivers, it was because they told me that they could drive. Charlie, is this you on YouTube and not on Twitch? I'm confused. The drivers told me that they could drive into Logan Airport, and I was like, "Are you sure you can drive into Logan Airport? Because I've heard that there's gonna be construction this weekend, and it's gonna be a whole thing." And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, we double checked. It's not gonna be a problem. We can drive in. We'll pick you guys up." And I'm like, "Okay." So Jackson Brown flew me to LA the night before so that I could fly in LA. Aw, yeah, the Twitch stream just is not enough for me. I don't know why. I keep trying, but not a lot of people there. Um, you wait, who was in the Led Zeppelin cover band with Chris Kontos? Are you talking about Will? Who hasn't been in a cover band? Will can't be in a band with Chris Kontos. They play the same instrument. Um, you preferred Tommy? Well, Tommy was smacked out on heroin, so we have Dave Rube. So thanks, heroin. Actually, Dave Rude and I have had that exact same conversation. We were like, hashtag thanks, heroin. Um, so the guys told me they could get into Boston Logan Airport, no problem. And I flew to LA the night before, and then I meet up with the band, and I've literally got my entire band with me, except for one guy that we were picking up in like Connecticut or some shit. And we're all flying, which means, we're flying with guitars and a lot of guitars and everybody's luggage for the tour. We fly across country to Boston. We get off the plane. And as I get off the plane, I met with texts from my bus drivers that they can't fucking get into the airport. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you can't get into the airport? I asked you to double check this because I know there's construction at the airport right now and it's a whole thing. They don't want people coming out to the airport. So not only do I find out that they can't get into the airport, but that there's no taxis and Uber and Lyft are not coming into the airport. The first thing I try to do is like get black cars. I'm like, all right, I don't care how much it costs. I'm getting black cars. Nope, no, zero cars available in your area because we don't want them coming into the airport because of this construction. There's like a whole tunnel under construction. Then I'm like, holy shit. I start texting management. I'm like, can you see if our car service has like any connections out here to get us a car service or something? I'm like, oh, Dave Rude. Yeah, they were in was it the servants? I think Dave was in the servants. Hey, you want me to read a thing? Yeah,
It's just like a 3-second legal voice on it.
no problem. Give me a minute.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna have to finish telling this story later. "1077 The Bone" and Billy Idol with "White Wedding." I'm Nikki Blakk, and Billy Idol continues to celebrate his 40th anniversary of the album with what seems to be a tour of national impact. He played at the Hoover Dam last year, and now he's playing at the Empire State Building. Here's Van Halen on 1077 The Bone. Um, I don't think Dave Rude was in Custard Pie, but I don't remember for sure. It's possible. Um, I know Dave Lopez was in Custard Pie. Are you thinking of Dave Lopez? Work meetings at 5:45. Why is your work having you meet so late? That's crazy. Okay, I gotta go record a thing, so let me see if I can give you the long and the short of this story. Um, at any rate, we're all in a panic, right? And I don't know if you've ever tried to herd a band, but it's like herding cats. And I have to get them. I mean, it was already gonna be a thing for me to get all like 7 band members from the plane to the luggage carousel to get their guitars and their luggage and get all that together, and then get out to the curb at the right place to meet the buses. But now we can't even meet the buses. So I'm like frantically calling around, and our light director, Greg, who is also Extreme's tour manager that I know through the Monsters of Rock cruise, um, I texted him because he had said something about being from Boston. And I was like, "Hey, how did the crew get out of here?" I go, "Didn't the crew come fly into Logan too?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I actually had a thing for that." I go, "What is it?" And he's like, "There's a hotel," and he tells me the name of the hotel. They have a free shuttle from the airport. He goes, "So just go to that hotel's shuttle bay, tell them you're staying at the airport, have your bus drivers meet you at that hotel and then just grease the driver so that he doesn't see anything. So I call that hotel and I'm like, "Hi, we're staying there and we just arrived at the airport. Can you please send the shuttle?" And they did. And so I had to herd everybody over to the shuttle, which is impossible. I mean, like out of nowhere, our guitar player takes Jackson and they not the guitar, yeah, our lap steel guitar, no, our bass player. Our bass player grabs Jackson and like one of our background singers, and they start walking across the street. And I'm like, "Where the fuck are you guys going?" And they walk all the way across the street, past the taxi lines, into this other area, and they're like, "We're going shuttles." And I'm like, "The shuttle we want is over here. Do not leave the road manager. Stay with the group." So then I had to herd everybody to stop so that I could get them to come back and then get everybody back on the same sidewalk. And I'm like, "Follow me." And we're all like pushing all the carts because Jackson, bless him, loved him. As soon as he found out we were gonna have to pull our own luggage, he just went and bought like a bunch of luggage carts and turned up with all these luggage carts. So we had so many luggage carts. I'm like, "We don't need that many luggage carts, you guys." Ah! And then I finally get them there, and bless this man. And when I say bless, I mean like with cash. I just walked right up to him and I was like, "Here's a C note. Please help me take care of these guys. I need to get them all to your hotel." And he was like, "Absolutely, no problem." And he helped us get all the luggage. I mean, we filled that shuttle bus. It was a little bus. It was one of those little like short buses, you know. And we had all this luggage plus all these guitars plus all these people. And so we all crammed on there. We barely fit everyone with all their stuff. I'm holding guitars in my lap. And dude drives us to the hotel. And I was like, "Here's another 100. If you could just pull past the front door a little bit." And he was like, "I got you." So he pulled past the front door and we unloaded everyone out of the sight of like the cameras and the hotel staff and got them all out off. And the buses were in the parking lot at that point. And I was like yelling at my drivers. I was like, "Don't ever let this happen again." I look like a fucking asshole because I had to have Jackson Brown walking around the goddamn airport trying to find his fucking buses when his buses couldn't be here because you told me they could. It was a whole thing. All right, I got to go read this promo. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Chris invited you to a family reunion. They played. It was great. Oh, cool. Yeah, the Servants was a really good band. When your new band gets big and does a tour, you're hiring me to be the tour manager. Be careful what you wish for. All right. That was an easy one. Yeah, I was only road manager. To be fair, I was only road manager there. We had a separate tour manager who did all of like the other stuff. You know, I do not want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and like walk and talk with the arena staff. I get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and then make sure the band is taken care of. And then when the band leaves, I leave. So road manager is a little different than tour manager, in the sense that it's a lot less work. Oh, God. Come on. Every once in a while, my email decides I'm fraudulently accessing it and kicks me out and makes me do a authentication over again. Yeah. It's like, how am I somehow unauthorized now when I was authorized 2 hours ago when I logged in? Makes no sense. PJ, did you miss it? I just did caller 9 like 15, 20 minutes ago. So was there really a shooting in Salinas? Like, did that happen? That was a thing? Yeah. I'm only about halfway through planning programming Metal Zone, so there is a lot of work to do still. Just saying. Like, I need to pick a Slayer song. Right? I think it's been a minute since I played Slayer. Should we go classic and just play Angel of Death? Yeah. I probably haven't played that for a minute. Have I? Let me check. Sometimes I'll get it in my head that I haven't played a song only to find out that I just played it because I had it in my head that I hadn't played it, but it's been in my head that I haven't played it for weeks. If that makes any sense. I have a terrible habit of buying stuff that I already bought because I thought that I was out of it when I wasn't. All right, we need some more commercially made, more commercial metal because sometimes I feel like playlists are a little too heavy. Um, oh, System of a Down and the Deftones, they're coming through. Did I play them last week? I think I did. I mean, Deftones. Yes. Oh, System of a Down I can play. All right. Let's get some system up in this bitch. What was the last one? Oh, Jesus. Is this somebody still trying to win? I'll bet you there's one guy who's like still calling over and over. Okay. Oh, have I just? I guess I haven't played System of a Down for a minute. Well, cool. That works. You know, it's funny whenever I ask people what they want to hear on the Metal Zone, everybody feels the need to look to go with like the most obscure or deepest or darkest or fucking most metal thing ever. But it's like, y'all motherfuckers still want to hear Number of the Beast. Don't pretend you don't. They tased him. Huh. 12 cop cars for one dude. You missed my story about me having to call 911 this one time at the middle of the night. Yeah, that was another situation where it was like, well, that creep, so not every cop in town. And they never caught him either. Yep, there it is, right there. Hi, it's the bone. I gave away 25 minutes ago?
Oh, man, I've been on the phone calling for like 20 minutes.
How have you been calling for 20 minutes? You know I only have to answer the phone 10 times. It's not like I'm having a call with my mom every time. It's like caller 1, caller 2, caller 3. Yeah. Give it like 5 minutes. Call over and over for like 5 minutes. If you haven't gotten through, then wait till the next chance, you know?
We got it.
All right. Good luck.
All right, love you.
Take care. Hey.
Bye-bye.
Oh man. How about Foggy Mountain Breakdown? Sure. Ted Nugent State Fair tickets. Man, Ted Nugent's not playing a California State Fair. He's playing a fucking Delaware State Fair. Well, no, he's probably not playing Delaware. He's playing a state fair that's like upstate New York or something, you know, or like Indiana, you know. That motherfucker's not playing a populous state that has multiple airports. Jacob, just FYI, you are not unplugged from corporate radio because I am working for corporate radio. We are a corporate radio station, but we do programming on Saturday nights. That is why we have Bone Breakers and Soundwaves FM and the Metal Zone. Those 3 programs are locally programmed by myself at the Metal Zone, Dennis Willis for Soundwaves, and Shasta and Baby Huey for Bone Breakers. So those shows are completely separate from the corporate programming. If that's what you meant, then you're welcome. We share credit. Ted Nugent State Fair. Jesus. All right. How close are we to being done here? 4, 5, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. We're like 2/3 of the way through this shit. I need more. Let's see. What sounds good? You know what? We need some local bands. How about some Testament? Did I play Testament last week? Who did I play last week, local band wise? Oh, I did play Testament last week. Okay, so then I think we need some Death Angel this week. Death Angel in honor of Will Carroll dropping by the live stream. Prompted me to tell a bus driver story. Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's see. Who else is a local band I haven't played for a minute? We already played Testament and Exodus, Deftones. Yeah. Yeah, I am going to switch those. Okay. Oh, let's play Accept. We need something classic. And we've got Udo coming and Accept coming, right? It's like Accept is playing with KK's Priest and Udo is playing at the DNA as a headliner. That'll work. Oh, we didn't play Judas Priest this last week. We need Priest. What do we do, Judas Priest? Judas. Should I play new Judas Priest or old Judas Priest? Tough call. Painkiller sounds awesome, but when was the last time I played it? Did I play it recently? Did I not? Have I not played Painkiller at all? All right, fuck it. Painkiller's happening. All right. Did I post the Metal Zone playlist? No, I haven't posted the Metal Zone playlist. I haven't updated the concert calendar. I haven't made Metal Zone for this week. I have done nothing. Oh, Machine Head. That is a good idea. Thank you. I can only play songs that I've played before, and I don't think I've played Skin Lab yet. That's a good point. Why haven't I played Skin Lab? Because it's so late in the week, I really can't ask Baby Huey to add songs to the system for me at this late date. It's not fair. It is not fair. Oh, hey, thanks for swinging by, Harry. Appreciate it, man. Justine, what do you mean old? Who you calling old? Hey, Dan. Are you home or are you just on another break from the fire business? Let's see. What about All Shall Perish? When was the last time I played them? They're local. And a little birdie told me they might have something to announce soon. But wait, when did I play them last? Are they not in here? Okay, I think I might have it. Okay, let's see. 6, 10, 15. That is probably everything. Okay, good. Now I can send it up. Everybody wants the old Judas Priest. I got you. I got you. Although that new Judas Priest is really good. Just um, what? No. 1077 The Bone and George Thorogood with what we like to think of as our theme song around here, Bad to the Bone. I'm Nikki Blakk, and we are definitely celebrating the Bones heritage. Lamont and Tinelli, 35 years together in the Bay. I mean, it is kind of insane when you think about it, which is why we got to throw a really big party with the Bonehead family. It is going to be the Lamont and Tinelli Ball. Stones Go Pilots live in Our Lady Toyota Pavilion in Concord on August 16th. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. And if you're listening to 1077 The Bone in the 8 a.m., 11 a.m., and 3 p.m. hours, you're going to have a chance to win them. That song is too short. Those songs are also too short. Let's go here. This one. Perfect. But I also need to change you. All right. I already got high on fire, PJ. Where were you? Oh, is it choppy for you, Justine? I'm sorry. I wonder if it's I kind of am wondering whether or not also with my between my laptop being so overloaded with open tabs and our Wi-Fi here at the station being a little overloaded as well. Well, if you remember Charlie and Humphrey, then you are probably old enough to remember Charlie and Humphrey. I remember Charlie and Humphrey. In fact, I got a Charlie and Humphrey T-shirt at Comic-Con before the pandemic happened. I was walking around Comic-Con and all of a sudden there was a fucking Charlie and Humphrey booth, and I was like, "What the hell?" And the guys who were running it, I guess, the dude who originated it is still alive, and he's like 102 or something. And they got the rights from him, or they got permission, I guess, from him. But there's a whole Charlie and Humphrey like merch line out there now. I bought that T-shirt on the spot. I was like, hand it over right now. I got a T-shirt and an enamel pin for Charlie and Humphrey. Glue. We need glue. In fact, anyone Gen X raised in the Bay, here's that glue. I need glue. You know exactly what the fuck it is. There's no around that. That's just, every child, every single one was watching that shit. All right, let's see. I got to do some stuff for tomorrow too. Is it still choppy, Justine? Oh. Oh yeah, it's definitely doing the thing. Hang on, I gotta go tell IT that it's definitely doing the thing. He knows. I was like, dude, it's definitely doing the thing. I heard it. Heard it. Nobody wants to hear the Cars for Kids commercial, do you? Oh, good. Okay. So, yeah, and you and Justine are both on YouTube. So, maybe try a restart, Justine. It might be you or your connection. Yeah, well, you missed your opportunity to sign in to weigh in on the metal zone though. We just finished programming it. You know how people feel about TMZ? Something about Comic-Con on TMZ? Oh my. Wonder what it was. You know what? Honestly, ever since Michael Jackson died, TMZ is an official news site. They broke that shit. Oh. Are you talking about the human trafficking sting? Ugh, gross. 14 arrests and 10 victims. Wow. Huh. Big events tend to attract human traffickers? Interesting. According to officials, law enforcement personnel masqueraded as sex buyers to identify and contact trafficking victims while also posting online ads to solicit and arrest alleged Johns and would-be sex traffickers. It gets even crazier, though. A rep for the AG's office says that out of the people who allegedly responded to the fake ads looking for a good time, 14 of them ended up getting arrested at various meetup locations and are now facing solicitation charges. Worth noting, we're told 14 individuals who were busted on solicitation and prostitution charges are not considered sex traffickers. Instead, we're told the sex trafficking element of the story actually comes from prostitutes law enforcement encountered in San Diego. We're told 9 adult sex workers and 1 minor sex worker were swooped up and saved as part of this operation. The AG's office says they're hopeful this leads to capture and arrest real ringleaders behind all this. You know, that all right, let me delicately phrase this in a way that doesn't sound um, so here's the thing. Um, Sex trafficking and sex work are 2 very different things. What this sounds like is not a sex trafficking bust, but a sex worker bust. There was 1 minor out of that whole thing, but it sounds like everybody else was kind of just consensual sex workers and Johns. It doesn't sound like anyone was actually trafficked. The majority of trafficking happens everywhere. It's more likely to happen in a suburban area with, like, a rental house. Hang on, I gotta do this commercial. But, see, this is how all those crazy QAnon people are getting misinformation and thinking that sex trafficking is rampant. I'm not saying it's not. Sex trafficking is an actual problem, but when you conflate sex workers with sex traffickers, it creates a whole 'nother problem. Sex workers are consensually choosing to work in that industry. Sex traffickers are kidnap victims forced into sex work, and that's a very, very big distinction, and I don't see where any of those people were trafficked. It sounds like they were consensually sex working, just that sex work is illegal, and that's difficult to explain without, uh to people that aren't familiar with the distinction. I feel like QAnon's gonna come after me now for even saying that out loud. Um, you guys don't want the Cars for Kids commercial, right? Yeah, well, that's the thing, Justine, right? Like most people don't read the story. They just see the title, they just see the headline and they're like, "Oh shit, human trafficking at Comic-Con," but really no, there wasn't human trafficking at Comic-Con, at least not as indicated by this particular article specifically. Um, they even say in the article how no, nobody was being trafficked. There was one person who was a minor working as a sex worker, which minors can't consent. So I don't know the story behind that. I'm not going to presume to. It is bad to have a minor selling themselves. That is definitely bad, illegal on all fronts. Not trying to condone it whatsoever. I'm just saying that the sex workers who are of legal age and consenting to work as sex workers at Comic Con, arresting them does no one any good. In fact, it kind of is piggybacking on the Comic Con thing in order to make it look like they're doing more than they are, because hassling sex workers does nothing to stem the tide of actual sex trafficking, which, like I said, is happening all the time. When they bust sex trafficking, it's usually a house that got rented for cash in a suburban area where gang members have either intimidated or kidnapped women and forced them to, chain them to beds or keep them in houses where they're not allowed to leave the room kind of thing, and force them to, service Johns all day and then take their money. And that's fucking sex trafficking. Sex trafficking where they kidnap people and force them to sell to work in that industry without their consent or ability to leave. And then the whole other issue of minors, which is trafficking and illegal it's kidnapping and trafficking, but if all we're talking about is a handful of Johns that were soliciting a handful of sex workers, it's irresponsible reporting, and honestly, it's lazy police work. I'm sorry, you went to Comic-Con and you can only find 14 hookers? There are probably way more than 14 sex workers at Comic-Con. This just tells me that there were only 14 of them dumb enough to get popped by you. But there you go. Flotsam and Jetsam. Well, we've already made this week, so I'll consider Flotsam and Jetsam for next week. Are they coming again? It is. Um, that does sound familiar. Is Flotsam? No, Flotsam and Jetsam played at DNA last year, didn't they? Yeah. I try to stick to largely, not always. It's not a hard and fast rule, but I do try to play a lot of bands that are coming through in concert to kind of encourage people to go to shows. Because one thing I hear all the time, it's, I didn't know that show was happening. I can't believe I missed that show. I didn't know. So I try to use the show as a way to make sure people are aware that these bands are coming in concert, and to build a community, to revive the metal scene. That metal scene is out there and it's good. And when everybody comes out, it's like going home, like a high school reunion. And I think most of the people in the metal community, um, their kids are out of the nest and they're at an age where they can manage to go out on a Tuesday once or twice, and they can manage to go out multiple weekends. It's not that expensive for them. A night at the movies versus a night at Vinny's if there's a metal band playing, or wherever, or DNA, or any of these smaller clubs. Um, there was a landslide on 101, PJ? I didn't know that. I don't know where Prune Tucky is though. Did you make that up or is that a real place? Well, I mean, it's really hard to prove libel. They would have to have actually said something that was completely untrue. Um, and if you read the whole article, they kind of pop to the fact that later on in the article that it's not technically trafficking what they were talking about. But that was a good way to get a lot of clicks. And that's the name of the game when it comes to TMZ, right? Oh, when did that happen? Yeah, 5:42. Okay. Right on time. Excellent. Okay. Is Metal Zone finished? You need to memorize what's under your eyelids. Yes, Metal Zone. Well, Metal Zone is finished. Yeah. Um, I haven't updated the concert calendar yet, and I haven't posted the playlist yet. Um, but sure. We did that one. Oh, whoops a daisy. I got a slash keyword to give out. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, no. What is the keyword this hour? One oh seven seven The Bone and Queen with You're My Best Friend. I'm Nikki Blakk, and who is your best friend, huh? I'll bet you it's the person who's trying to send you to Nashville to see Slash at his Serpent Fest with your airfare, your 2-night stay in Nashville, your premium tickets to the show, not to mention that the Slash soundcheck experience is extra. Autographed vinyl, autographed Gibson guitar. I mean, what more could you ask for? Oh, how to enter to win this bad boy? It's easy. All you have to do to enter is text the word crowd to 95819 right now. CROWD. Text crowd to 95819 to enter. Okay, good. Dunsies on that one. You had no idea Cal Fire liked vegan cheese. I didn't know anybody liked vegan cheese. I always thought vegan cheese was sad, desperate attempt by people who are lactose intolerant to eat cheese. I mean, isn't vegan cheese basically like soggy nuts? I mean, literally though, right? I think you have to like soak cashews and then strain them to the desired consistency of cheese, and that's vegan cheese, basically. Maybe they add some. I know, right? I'm pretty sure vegan cheese is just soggy nuts. Um, I have not had a vegan cheese that ever came close to a real cheese, but I am fortunate. I have lactose privilege, I guess, because I am, very lactose tolerant. I have no problem eating outrageous amounts of cheese, whether it be cow or goat or badger. I don't know. Um, what about me? Can you milk me? Um, what about me, Greg? Can you milk me? Is this the the Robert De Niro face? What about me, Greg? Could you milk me? Um, I don't do impressions, and that is why what you just saw. But yeah, I'm a big fan of actual animal-based cheeses. I'm not against vegan or vegetarian food. In fact, there's a lot of vegan and vegetarian food out there that I genuinely enjoy and I fully support anyone's plant-based lifestyle. I'm not mad at that at all. I don't know why people get so mad. Whenever you ask for something vegan, people are always like, oh, it's like they're anticipating some sort of vegan attack. And I think that that's because there's so much crazy propaganda out there convincing people that the vegans are some sort of militant threat, some sort of angry, shrieking leftist kind of conspiracy or something. But nope, most vegan people I know have a tendency to be pretty mellow. Maybe it's because they're not complicated with all that meat. I don't know. I do know that Rebel Vegan Brie is yummy. Okay, I could try it. I'm not against it. I typically go for vegan and vegetarian foods that aren't pretending to be another vegan or vegetarian food. Um, there's a ton of Asian cuisines and Asian culture that are vegetarian and vegan, and that they always have been. And that's because they're poor and meat is expensive. There's a lot of even in like the European cuisines. I mean, that's the whole reason that the French eat frog's legs, right? Because in the way back, the nobles and the royalty owned all the property. And if you didn't own property, you couldn't kill an animal on that property. You had to catch an animal or kill an animal not on that property or not desired, and that's why there's a lot of like rabbit dishes and frog dishes and fish dishes because people can get away with that stuff. But for the most part, if you killed like a deer or stole a chicken, off with the head. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. The Indian people, my gods, the Indian people make amazing vegetarian vegan food. I fucking love Indian food. You served gator at the restaurant? I'm pretty sure gator's not French. But I had frog and I've had gator, and frog is a lot like fish sticks and gator is a lot like chicken nuggets. I've tried them both. I don't think that either one is really worth the cost, because they're both considered exotic meats and they're kind of expensive. Um, but I've tried them and I think they're fine. They're not bad. It's not like, ew, I can't believe you ate gator. I've eaten snails. That's why the French eat snails too. And it turns out snails, not bad. They taste like whatever you cook them in. They're basically mussels, you know? Um, yeah, it's almost exactly like eating mussels. Snails is just like mussels. No difference. I remember one time if you say alligator, um, yeah, that's how haggis came about, right? The nobles were chucking parts and poor people were like, "I'll take those parts because we need protein. We're starving." Absolutely, dude. And then haggis is like sheep's bladder stuffed with like weird shit. Yeah. There are like famous chefs that will lose their minds over a haggis. And I'm just like, it's like there's like a ferment, right? I still haven't gotten that far. Oh, Scottish. And I'm Scottish. Like I'm like 99% UK descent and the lion's share of that is Scottish. But I can't, I'm not saying no to haggis. I'm just saying it hasn't happened yet and I have not decided to make it happen. 30 bucks for a plate of gator with fries? That's not worth it. When I lived in Vacaville in the 90s, they opened a place called TC Gators. And so we all went to check it out out of curiosity. And we ordered the gator plate. And I was like, eh. I don't remember how much it cost though, because this was the 90s and that was a very long time ago. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, if the kids wanna go plant-based, great. Just make sure they're getting their supplements, and that they're learning the nutrition behind the plant-based diet, because a lot of people I knew that decided to go plant-based, and this is not to say your kid, because 'cause I'm sure your kid's already, like, miles ahead of everybody I ever knew. But in the '90s, you know, kids were going vegan and then eating, like, candy bars all day. They were like, "Well, there's no animal parts in it," and shit like that because they couldn't find vegan options. Or they'd eat ramen because ramen is vegan if you get the veggie one. But it's not good for you, and there's a lot of B vitamins that you have to find in other sources. Um, but it's a lot easier now than it used to be because now we have, like, instant pots and you can make beans really easily and get, like, your protein in a variety of, like, lentils and beans and whatever and make really good food. Yeah, I'm sure Oreos are vegan. They're also kinda gross. Um, have you ever, like, actually picked apart an Oreo and then stopped and concentrated on eating it while you eat it? Yeah, that stuff in the middle did used to be lard mixed with sugar, and now it's basically Crisco mixed with sugar. Yeah, nice, Sherry, I'm glad. I'm glad she's a good cook. I mean, I've been telling people to learn how to cook for so long, I'm blue in the face. It's exhausting. Um, and there are so many things that I used to buy in a box because it was cheap, because it came with some kinda sauce with it, and now I'm like, it costs the same or less to learn how to make the sauces and make the sauces with the real ingredients. Cream is a little bit expensive, um, but for the most part, you don't have to use a lot of cream, or you can use something less expensive like milk and then just do like a roux with, like cornstarch and water to thicken it up, and boom, it's 1,000 times healthier and better than your pastaroni or your fucking rice-a-roni or whatever the fuck box bullshit is. But people still want to just z they just wanna rip and cook. I mean, people don't even wanna rip and cook, right? They wanna pull something out of the freezer and throw it in the microwave and then be done with it, and I'm like, "We saw this thing at Comic-Con." We were like, "What are these, like, bonnets?" And it was like they were squares, but they were squares that were like cozies, and it turned out it's a microwave bowl cozy so that when you're heating stuff up in the microwave, you don't burn yourself on the bowl. You put the bowl in the cozy, you put the bowl in the cozy in the microwave, and then you microwave your shit, and I'm like, "I don't use the microwave." I use the microwave for, like, one thing, heating up my coffee if it went cold. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, I really wanna teach people how to cook. I don't understand how people still eat fast food, you know? And not only is it terrible for you, but it tastes like shit. Once you have, like, a once you start tasting your food and learning so that you can cook it, right? Because you need to taste it as you cook, right, Food. Um, then you're really tasting your food, and then you're really figuring out how shitty all that other food is. Aw, thanks, Sherry. Yeah, I guess I am a foodie. I'm a little prissy when it comes to that stuff. Oh, god, I just realized it's 6 o'clock. No wonder I'm talking about food. I'm starting to get hungry. Um, anybody got any questions before I go? Anybody need a last minute recipe? I think I think Thunderwolf is out because, his edibles finally kicked in. You know, my garden's doing okay, but it's not great, and, all I have this year is tomatoes, but I would honestly suggest you don't have to have a garden, just start with herbs. Start with an herb garden. They're super easy. You don't even have to plant them or grow them. You can go to Trader Joe's and for like $20 get like a bunch of fresh organic herb plants and then take those home and soak them in water overnight and then transplant them wherever you can fit them at your house. Or don't even transplant them, just water them because they're usually pretty dried out by the time that you can buy them. But or don't plant them and just water them, and for $20 you've got fresh herbs right there that you can cook with, and that transforms the flavor of everything. Everything makes all the world difference. You've been trying to get away from the number? What do you mean the number? Oh, the nuker. Yeah, that's not. I can see why autocorrect caught you on that one. Yeah, most deaf. I mean, at least get a toaster oven. You know, I don't know how people can eat soggy food. All my shit needs to be at least toasted, if not, cooked properly. You're waiting till Halloween to ask me about scary rock and roll stories. Uh, I don't know if I have any scary stories, but if something pops up, I'll try to remember it. Freeze the lemons. God, so many of my lemons are going bad. I threw a bunch in the fridge. My entire top shelf of the fridge is the lemons. And then this weekend, I finally have the time to make a limoncello and juice a bunch of lemons and then freeze the juice. But that juice doesn't last as long. Conventional oven. Oh, convection oven. I am fine with a toaster oven, although my toaster oven does also have a convection setting. I'm not particularly impressed with the difference between the convection and the toasting. Depends on what you're doing. Hey, Rye. Sorry, you caught me just as I was saying goodnight. Do you have any questions real quick before I go? Because I got to go. I got a bunch of stuff I got to get done before I get out of here. All right. Last chance. Heading out. I'll be back tomorrow, 3-ish. Wait, tomorrow's Thursday, huh? Yeah, we'll still be back tomorrow, 3-ish. Unless I test positive for COVID, you never know. I mean, but at this point, I really don't think I have it. You know, I doubt it. I don't feel any unusual symptoms, and I've tested negative every day this week. So even though I was exposed this weekend, I think I'm fine. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow-ish. Hopefully, if you can through 3-ish to 6-ish. Glue. I need glue.